it 2021? Can someone confirm? Yes, thank you. My Mac just confirmed for me. Thank you all for your help. For a moment there, I was titling the recording, and I was saying, what year is it? Because I always title stuff just so I know in chronological order using like SQL DBase code. So today's date is 2021-0322. So now you know. Welcome everyone to 2021-0322. John Lavenia here with you live for our Success Mastermind General Session. I'm so glad to be here with everyone. Let's take a look at, we got a few people in the house here already. Let's go on gallery view real quick. Look at these silly English Kniggets here. We've got Adrian, good to see you, buddy. Evelyn, Kim, Gail, Carl, Dick, good to see you. John Apogee, Bill, always a pleasure. My Irish friend. Daisy's here. Sandy is right behind that mountain. That's Mount Rainier, by the way, if you're seeing the mountain. Teresa's here. Lindsay, dollar with a glamour shot. That's a dollar shot right there, Lindsay. Toba, good to see you. Virginia Pipitone, and more people piling in. And here comes Robin. Good to see you guys. We're going to have a fun conversation today because I feel like having one. I just got done with my exercise. And that's a good thing to do. It's a good habit to get in. You know, I was on this app last night. Oh, you know what? Before we get into all that, today is the day. Who's ready to start this week? We are kicking off the public version of our book study. It's going to be the Science of Getting Rich workshop, and four-part series starting tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. Whether you're a member here or not, or you're seeing this on YouTube, or you forgot, go ahead and unforget, okay? And go ahead and go to jlsuccessmastermind.com/book-workshop. I'll put that link in the chat. I'll put it somewhere and register for that. So even though you're a member here, we do have a private separate Facebook group just for the mastermind of this book. We got the handouts. Oh, it's going to be sick. Be there. How we're going to fit this into 4 1-hour sessions, I don't know, because I could talk for 3 months straight about the content in this book, which in fact we did when we did Think and Grow Rich, which came later. Okay. But Think and Grow Rich, we spent 17 weeks on that book, 1 hour a week, every Monday night. Anyway, we're going to cram this one in. We're going to shove it down our throats. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have so much waddles until we throw up, and then we're going to get rich, because that's what the whole book's about. And if you have integrity to the principles in the book, you will get rich. You will. And every time I've had integrity to the principles in this book, my stats go up. And whenever I'm out of integrity, my stats go down. Hence the title of my book, which came out over 10 years ago, whereas this one came out 110 years ago. So 100 years after Waddles wrote The Science of Getting Rich, John Lavenia wrote Integrity is Everything to tell the world why I do or do not succeed based on my application or non-application of this stuff, which is nothing new. I don't have a new truth. What I do need to have is a little bit more integrity. So let me write about that. So now you all know that I'm not perfect either. Now let's get on with it tonight. Get ready. It's going to be fun. Before we do that, though, stand by, because we have Evelyn Melendez at this afternoon at what time is it Eastern? I got to get my clocks straight. Evelyn, what time are you doing that?
3 p.m. Eastern.
3 p.m. Eastern U.S. Daylight Time e-commerce workshop, right? So tonight we're talking philosophy. This afternoon, Evelyn's talking about here's how we put this to use in the interwebs using e-commerce modalities. So great job, Evelyn, and your guest speakers have been doing. Emma, right, and others. Thank you for your participation in that. So all of our members, that's members only, of course. All of our members who are engaged in e-commerce, get with Evelyn tonight or this afternoon and get your e-commerce fix on. So back to what I was thinking about. Did I ever tell you the story that I'm about to tell you? Oh, I did? Okay, then I won't tell it. I was seeing in the chat here, somebody threw me off with the Knights of, the Knights of Knee, Monty Python? Adrian, we have the Knights that say knee. You must bring us a shrubbery. All right. I love that movie, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Here's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about those who ask and those who get. It's the same group, by the way. Those who ask get. I was told that once flippantly by someone who was interestingly, it was someone who had an interest in well, it is certainly an interest in seeing me succeed in an endeavor, and and they were able to boil this down to one thing, because I was deliberating with myself about should I, shouldn't I, all that indecision, all that monkey chatter, that internal dialogue that keeps us stopped and not quite reaching, not quite executing, or in the marketing world, not quite impinging. What is marketing? Let's talk about this. Quick refresher, because I know we got a lot of people who are engaged in business and sales and marketing, and entrepreneurship always must include some marketing effort, right? There must be something, otherwise it's your hobby. It's not your business. You can do whatever you like. It's your hobby. But if you're intending to engage in some sort of commerce, well, then there's some marketing involved. What is marketing? Marketing is the act of reaching into the public, impinging on their space, and putting their attention on that which you offer. Purpose of which is to increase the demand for what you supply. So you've got supply, and now we're going to increase or augment the demand. Now, part of that demand may have already did already exist. You would have never been inspired to create this supply, right? So here's the product, here's the service, here's the whatever the offer is, if there wasn't some intrinsic want or need in the marketplace already, right? Widgets exist. I was just thinking about this one thing. My daughter has these things called fidget spinners. Anyone ever heard of this? It's a little ball bearing on like an axe, or like a little, yeah, it's basically a bearing with a molded piece of plastic or whatever. And you play with it and you do whatever you're going to do, and you throw it on the side, you lose it, you forget about it, you go buy another one, right? What is the purpose of that, right? Why is there a demand for that? I don't know. Okay, but there is. And someone recognized that demand. Now, I don't know how many failed fidgety things, never really took off in the marketplace until the fidget spinner suddenly, was a big hit. So some of this has to do with, I don't want to say luck, okay, but I would say surveying, right? Seeing what kids play with. And look, toy companies do this, right? They put a bunch of crap on the table. They invite the kids in. They see what they play with, right? And then based on that, right, they can go and they can market. Look at kids. They're playing with the thing, right? See the kids. They're happy. They're playing with the thing. Give me $5 or whatever these things cost. But you see, there's a demand. There's a demand. And so what we've got to do is we've got to increase that demand by what? By asking. Brian Levesque wrote a book. The whole title of the book was Ask, right? So those who ask get. It's about asking what people want and asking for them to participate in the solution to what they want. So I was thinking about this as it relates to, in fact, as it relates to what we're doing tonight. Okay, what I'm doing tonight is I'm hosting the first in a 4-part series, a workshop about what? About the science of getting rich, which I think is a pretty important topic, especially in light of what's been going on in the world for the last year plus, right? With global pandemics and economic uncertainties and all the stories about it, right? All the drama about it. Can't we get back to self-determinism? Can't we get back to, becoming successful unapologetically? I think we can. And so in an inspired moment, and typically that's all you get, by the way, an inspired moment, I said, you know what, let's do this. It's not going to cost anybody anything. It's going to cost me, right? Let's do it. It's going to cost, it's going to cost attention. It's going to cost attention from people. I'm going to dare people to take their attention. Remember, I'm impinging now, right? I dare you. This might be I might send out an email of this today. This sounds good. I dare you. I like that. Okay. So I dare you to stop for just a moment. Stop looking at the news, the sky is falling, mass media, doom, gloom, your broke friends, family, and neighbors, and all the things that you've been in agreement with up to this moment. I dare you to just challenge yourself to go out of agreement with that for just a moment, just a quick break. Take a deep breath and put your attention here, because I can tell you right now, our group is going places, right? And this isn't a pitch for our group. I mean, everyone who's listening to this, you don't need to be pitched, right? You know what happens here. This is huge. But we're going somewhere deliberately. And why? Because we asked to. We asked to. Those who ask get. Those who don't ask, in contrast, never get. And so I know, I've observed this for decades. People who sit at the effect of all the inputs in their life and don't reach and don't speak up for themselves. I'm going to talk about this app that I was just thinking of here in a minute. But people who don't make known themselves or their offer or whatever in the marketplace, they tend to cave in on themselves. Because look, there's a never ending barrage of inputs that you could go into agreement with, that you could be impinged on by. But there's got to be, and we talked about this before, we haven't talked in a while, there's got to be a balance in the flow. There's got to be an inflow and an outflow. Like the tide comes in, the tide has to go out. You can't just have one, you got to have both. And so anyone who is looking to expand and increase not only their own results, but the effect that they're having in the marketplace, and the two go hand in hand, right? Back to the idea of being an entrepreneur, right? Back to the idea of being in sales and marketing, and the idea of having an effect in the world, right? So there's got to be a balancing of the flows. And I've seen some spectacularly beautiful, loving, awesome people crushed under the weight of all the real and invented significances that have been put upon them by the marketplace, society, whatever, the world. The way out is the way through. We've got to outproduce our problems, our troubles, our deficits. We've got to outproduce. This is something that I'm reminded of when I think of Adrian Garner. Both Adrians, Adrian Jackson. I don't know if Adrian Jackson's here. He's not. I don't see him. And when I think of Evelyn Melendez, and when I think of Kim and Bill and John Apogee and Daisy, Carl, Gail, Ace, right? Therese. I think, here are people who are giants. They're giants. And yet with the amount of potential that we have, we also have the potential to go in the wrong direction, in the reverse vector, so to speak. Imagine you've got this amazingly powerful sports car, or I don't know, tank or nuclear missile or something, right? What direction is it pointed in? I mean, it could do amazing stuff, amazing, spectacular, make a spectacle of yourself, hopefully in a good way. And I think that the thing that stops us often from reaching and that hesitation is the tendency to introvert. I hope I do it right. What will they think? I don't want to look like an ass, right? I hate making mistakes, right? Oh, they do it better than me. We're going to talk about this tonight, by the way, on the Sides of Getting Rich, comparing my insides to other people's outsides. Oh man, they got it so together. Oh man, I don't know about me, right? All that self-deprecation, all that, really, here's the real enemy, all that introversion. And some people chuckle about it. And, because I've been in the public speaking and motivation and all that space for decades now, I've heard countless people get on stage or, do a lecture or whatever and say, I'm a natural introvert, right? Okay. I'm with you on that. And some people are shocked by that. I get what that is. Is that something to celebrate? Is that like, oh, wow, look at me, I'm so introverted? No, the marketplace is out there. The effect that you can have is out there. And there's a time to sit and be quiet and read and think and meditate. And I did that today. And I do it some more. But there's a time to get in the game unapologetically and to reach and to impinge and to ask. There's a time to do that. So have your rest. Take your deep breath, read a couple of pages, remember who you are, and then, my goodness, go be that. Go be the knights that say knee. Go say knee. Go do it. Go do it. In fact, do it with a smile on your face. I mean, think about that. I've got Monty Python on the brain here today. But think about that. Here's this like British comedy troupe that just decided to do this stuff, and people laughed and it was funny. And I'm still talking about it. What, 50? How old is that movie? 50, 60 years? The Holy Grail, classic. Anyone who hasn't seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, oh, just go watch it. But back to this other idea that I was thinking of. I was on this app, Evelyn. I told you about it. In fact, I told everyone about it. I haven't reached. I haven't asked. I haven't pushed myself out there on it. I set it up, and then I've been insanely busy with other stuff. Frankly, I don't know how so many people have so much time to be on social media. But there's this app called Clubhouse. And like every 10 minutes, I'm getting pinged, bing, bong, bing. This guy's going live. That guy's going live. So I followed a bunch of people on this app. And look, here's what I want to do, by the way, because I intend to, and Evelyn, you'll be proud of me. I intend to engage on this app. And you told me to pick a platform. And so I'm picking one. It's a spoken word platform. By the way, none of it's recorded. So you can make an ass of yourself. And tomorrow everybody forgot. But there's countless topics, everything you want to talk about, religion, sales, relationships, guns, anything goes on there, which I love, right? Seems to me like a nice free speech platform. But there's a lot of people who are gaining big audiences on there. To what end, right? Oh, now go ahead and follow me on Instagram and click on my link and buy my stuff. Okay, fine. So there's a lot of marketers on there too. But as my friend Grant Cardone says, best known beats best. Best known beats best, right? So I'm on there and I'm listening, tuning in whenever I have a free moment, and people are talking about whatever they're talking about. Compelling? I don't know, right? That's terribly opinionated. I would say in most cases, mildly. And there's some talented people on there too, really good stuff. And so it's a mixed bag, a completely mixed bag, but it's pretty much whatever you want. And I was thinking, okay, so here are these people who are impinging via technology. This almost sounds like I just discovered technology or something. Like I'm the Cro-Magnon man coming out of the cave discovering like the iPhone. Wow. But here are these people via technology asking, impinging, reaching, right? And because it's a non-recorded format, well, say whatever you're going to say. And this is an affirmation that I heard from the late Tom Johnson. He was a minister in First Church of Religious Science. And he said, "I dare to make an ass of myself." Is that liberating? Would you hear that? Is that liberating? Look, I've often said, when I get on these broadcasts and what we do here, and tonight, for example, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about until I hear it come out of my mouth. Now, unfair advantage. I've been at this for 30 years, and I'm going to have a textbook that we're all going to be looking at. I'm going to highlight some things. I'm going to know exactly where I want to go with that. Where I want to go with that is how does this stuff work in my life? Like, how have I seen and observed this work in my life and in the lives of others? It's one thing to read the philosophy. It's another thing to put it to use, right? Here's how it worked. And what does that do? That makes it more real for me. And that makes it more real for anyone who's got ears to hear, right? Oh, you mean this stuff actually works? Because I think in today's marketplace, in today's environment, trust is so low. And is that by design? What was the last, it was something like 11%. And don't quote me on this. The statistic was somewhere around barely double digits of people surveyed who trust or believe what they see on the news. Somewhere around 11%. Trust is so low on the internet, in the space that I've been in for a long time with sales and marketing. It's the number one question on people's minds. Who can I trust? Who can I trust, right? Oh, this offer looks great. Look, tonight we're going live with an offer, right? To do what? To help people enlighten themselves and get out of their own way, basically is what it's about, for free, right? And yet, out of the thousands of people who have been impinged upon with that offer, we have hundreds, not thousands, we have hundreds who are going to participate, hundreds who've registered. Think about that. This is another thing that would perhaps cause someone who's introverted, okay, which right now, quite obviously, I'm not. I'm rather extroverted. I'm looking out into the marketplace, right? But someone who's introverted might say, oh, look at all this refusal. Look at all this refusal. And it must be me, right? Oh, now it's rejection, right? That's personal. Well, hold on a second here. Anyone who's going to be engaged, what is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur, by definition, is someone who assumes greater than normal risk for the purpose of profitability in business, right? So that's the definition of an entrepreneur. So what do we got in there? We have the individual, someone, right, who takes on this risk, right? So there's something that that you're putting out there that you don't know how it's going to come back, but if you know the laws, you know that that which goes out must come back. Can't give anything away, right? For the purpose of what? Oh, we have a purpose. What is that purpose? Oh, profitability in business and commerce, right? And so are we going to experience, assuming we actually ask, assuming we actually reach, are we going to experience refusal? Of course, of course. This thing right here, this is called an iPhone. Apparently it's popular. Millions of people bought it. Guess what? More people didn't buy it than those who did buy it. Oh no, we failed. No, it failed, right? You think there's anybody at Apple headquarters taking that personally? You think Johnny Ive, if he's even still around, I haven't watched an Apple commercial in a while because it's like the same damn thing over and over again. We got to use the best aluminum that money can buy. Aluminum, it's aluminum, man. But I guess in England you call it aluminium. Just sounds British or something. So, but yeah, every time it's the best breakthrough aluminum, the best thing they've ever done. Every time, every like 6 months or whatever it is, right? You think he's sitting around crying in soup because Bob didn't get in line at the Apple store to buy the next version of it? So there's a difference between rejection and refusal. What we're talking about is the internal dialogue that prevents us from reaching, or that we can just, you know what, let's just publish. I said this to my wife yesterday. Sorry, guys, if I'm all over the map. This is where my heart is right now, and I hope you're getting something out of this. So my wife was at this women's retreat in Texas. Just landed, just came back to Arizona 45 minutes ago. She's in the backyard with my daughter, going through all the rummage that we have bulk trash pickup here this week. And so people are putting out like furniture and stuff. And my daughter's running around with a wagon with the other neighborhood kids. Hey, we could sell this. We could fix this up. And we did. We posted some stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and people are calling up to buy it. She's collecting money. So my little entrepreneur, she's out there, and they're raising money for their next bake sale, which she also made money on. My goodness, kids, watch kids. Amazing. What was I talking about? Right. So I was talking to my wife yesterday. So she's doing this women's retreat mastermind, like power women entrepreneurs and a bunch of 7-figure, producers. And she's sitting there masterminding with them. And she said something to me, which I thought was profound. She said, we've been complicating this. I was like, yes, right? Because we've got multiple offers and things and that we do. We run 4 businesses. We're busy people, and we like our work. And we're thinking about how can we serve more people to a higher level in less time? Well, simplicity. I think the height of mastery is simplicity. And while there's a lot of, like I said before, comparing your insides to other people's outsides, oh, they got their act so together because of whatever assessment you're making, whatever evaluations you're having. Okay. And then thinking, oh, we've got to be different, better, something. Now, hold on. If you know the value of the content, the result that you can help people get, publish, damn it, publish. And that's what I said to her. Like, she got halfway through telling me like her cognition, like, listen to this. And I was like, we just got to publish, just publish. This whole book study group that we're doing this week. Is the offer perfect? I don't know. We threw together pages. I've got a handout, and we're going to publish. And there's going to be an effect, and it's going to be a good one because the intent is there and the content is there. And is it glamorous? No. And Jimmy crack corn, and I don't give a damn, right? I don't care. We got to publish. Best known beats best. And I think our stuff is the best anyway. So best known and best. How about that? So now let's make it known. So this is where my mind and my heart is going today. And I'm thinking for everyone here who's within earshot of my voice, you are so, just by the virtue of the fact that you're engaged, in this level of thinking and asking these sort of questions of yourself, my goodness, you are 10 billion years further down the road than people who are watching kitten videos right now, or the latest, best of the worst, worst of the best on TikTok or something. My goodness, you guys are awesome. Please be awesome. Let other people know how awesome you are. It's not a boastful way, but reach, make yourself known. Reach, ask. Anyway, I love you guys. We're going to have an amazing week. And whatever you're working on, e-commerce, writing a book, which several of our members have already publish, yes. Creating your own course, website, Adrian, right? So much power in this group. I don't mean to just give everyone a tongue bath and gush all over you, but I love you guys. And thank you for being on this journey with me. Invite some people tonight. I think the world needs this message. Hopefully they use it. If they use 10% of it, their life is going to transform. With shoddy, half-assed integrity to the principles we're going to be covering this week, I've made more money than most people would believe. And I've helped more people than I ever imagined. With shoddy, half-assed integrity. I need reminders. So tonight is for me, because I have not arrived, in case you were wondering. I can't wait to hear what I'm going to say. I need some reminders, and I want you to all hold me to account to it. Because, John, now that you're talking about it, you can't say you didn't know. You can't say you didn't know. No more victim. Saying this to myself. I'm done talking. Somebody else start talking, please. Somebody save me here. Save me. Hey, Evelyn.
So, looking at what you're going to be doing tonight, and I would love to post that on my Facebook page to promote it. Mm-hmm. I have received 3 emails. That's what I was doing right now, checking which one is the one that I could use to post it, because I think if we all did our part, we will have a great turnout tonight.
Yeah, we're going to have a great turnout regardless. We've already got a lot of people registered, but thank you for, let's pack it out. Which one? I don't know. It's the same link every time. Unless it's the welcome link, right? Like, so if you already registered, then you've got like, here's how you access the book, the free book, right? Here's how you get the Facebook group. But if it's any of the invitation links, then it's the same link every time. Yeah.
Okay, so I can do a copy and paste and say, hey, you guys, I've been part of this mastermind for almost a year. Sure. He's up to the world. I invite you to join us tonight, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yeah. So it's, yeah. And if you're copying from the email itself, the links are encoded with, click tracking and all this, so it's a huge link, but it's jlsuccessmastermind.com/book-workshop. That's it. Book-workshop. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Evelyn. And who's next? Evelyn's next. I saw Evelyn unmute for a moment there. The other Evelyn who's with us here today. Yes. Evelyn.
I'm here. Are you talking to me, John? Okay. Hi. John, you dared me. You said the word dare, and then you said the word introvert. So I had to talk. If you hear the dogs, I'm out. You know what I'm doing with the dogs. Sure. But listen, I just felt like you and I are on the same frequency this morning, because I spent all yesterday reading Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, which I would recommend to everybody, and I hope we read it at some point together. I hate to use the cliche, but it is Think and Grow Rich on steroids. It's amazing, and I'm going to be reading it a few times, I'm sure. This whole thing about taking decisive action and taking definitive action right now and not drifting, I think that is, not drifting, in other words, not hesitating, not procrastinating, and allowing yourself to get into that habit of putting something off, because then it gets ingrained in a pattern, gets ingrained in what he calls a rhythm. And then you're drifting, and then you could get to a point where you're not getting out of it. So I think this is really the nugget right here, is taking decisive action right now. And so I just wanted to thank you for continuing to say that all these mornings for me, because it's really, it's clicking, it's all clicking and it's all falling into place. I can't tell you how many times, John, I was listening to this book yesterday and I heard you in the book, and I could tell that book had a big effect on you, a big impact. So anyway, that's all I have to say right now. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Evelyn. And thank you for, I mean, does everyone hear the life in Evelyn's voice as she talks about this cognition that she had? So she's talking about drifting. This is some of the words that Napoleon Hill used in the book. For those of you who don't know what that book is about, it came later after Think and Grow Rich and all his other work. His wife said, there's no way we're publishing this. It's too controversial. And then once they were both dead, then the Napoleon Hill Foundation published it. And it's about Napoleon Hill having a conversation with the devil and wrestling the devil to the ground and extracting the secrets of how the devil destroys man. And the secret is, if I can get a man to drift through life in a state of chronic indecision, I have beaten him. Indecision. That's the enemy. Amazingly powerful work. Yeah. So do with that what you will. We'll put that on the reading list. I'll tell you what's coming next, though, Evelyn, after The Science of Getting Rich is Power of Consistency. So get ready for that. We're going to go with Evelyn. You had another comment?
I just would like to just throw out there that the title is a little bit scary maybe to some people, but really it's actually kind of a cute device that he uses. This whole thing of a conversation with the devil, and the whole thing is, you're right, he wrestles the truth out of him and compels him to tell how he saps the life out of the average person, 98% of the people out there, and the other 2% are the ones that can think for themselves. And I just wanted to cap it off with, as I've said many times, I came from, in my previous career, 27 years of working in a bureaucracy where it's an institution that is very slow to change, if ever, and that is public education. No matter what people say, no matter what, even there are lots of people in there that really believe that they want change, progressive change towards a better system, but they really don't. It's like, they might want it, but it's very difficult because that sort of world always perpetuates itself. There's always a push towards maintaining the status quo just by the nature of it. So the reason that I mentioned that is that I think anybody who is coming from a long career in working for something, an environment like that, working for an institution like that, like for me, I can only speak for myself. I continue to get back to the idea, and it's just a recurring idea, that I have to rehaul all of my thinking. I've got to learn how to think again from the very beginning. And, because I'm going to be, and I am, a successful entrepreneur, I have to continue to go back and rehaul my thinking. So again, John, thank you for everything that you're doing. And thanks to the whole group, because this mastermind group is helping me to learn new habits of thought that, because by way of repetition of those new habits of thought, I'm ingraining a new rhythm in myself, a new rhythm, a pattern of action, a pattern of thinking, a pattern of living that is helping me achieve my goals. So there you go. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So glad you're here. Beautiful stuff. Publish, get it out there. Bill, what do you think, my friend? We got Bill McDonald, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is.
John, for an introvert, you're pretty damn noisy. And I like that about you. Yeah. Well, you've had a few years of sitting on the fence, I suppose, when you started off, and then you decided to take a different path, which has obviously paid dividends big time. And that's not just financially, that's clearly mentally and spiritually and everything else for you. So good on you, man. Well done. And just to cap up on build on what Evelyn was just saying, it is this group that gives that inspiration. I mean, you've said so much over this last year, John, that keeps going over and over and over in my mind. And I've had probably the shittiest year that I would ever wish to have, but I'm out on the other side of that now. I mean, 2 hours ago, I was sitting in a psychologist's office in bits. And having said that, once I come out and get back around and he brings you back around and I come on to this, This is my relaxation. This is my therapy as well. This takes the other side out, and stops you being not introverted, but stops you having those doubts. And I have now reached the stage where I don't have those doubts anymore. I know who I am and what I'm capable of. I'm still taking very small baby steps towards my business side of things. But that said, this week's win was packaging all my products. I have now got an empty room behind me, packaged, sent, shipped, all on Amazon, all live. I'm now going on to the PPC campaign for myself. I'm not teaching myself because I think I need to know how I like to know how these things operate. But that's all down to the consistency of turning up here and listening to like-minded people that know what they're talking about, and in many cases don't know what they're talking about. And I mean that in the nicest way, because we all don't know what we're talking about. That's why we're here. That's why we learn off each other. And to me, that's a great step in the right direction for anything, for business, for life, for whatever. You constantly, at the start of all this group, used to say, John, people just don't think. And you're right. They do sit and watch cat videos and watch, oh my God, the news, what's so terrible? You know, come on, guys, get with the program. That's really what you've been saying all along. And to me, that's exactly what I'm now doing. And that's why I am so glad to be here. We're all born with the same potential. It's whether or not we choose to use that potential. I know life can throw a lot of shit in your face, but you know what? It's the power of consistency that's kept me working through that shit that I've faced for the last 3 decades. And it's the power of consistency that's keeping me going in the right direction, no matter how hard it is, no matter what else throws in front of me. But the good thing that I find is that no matter what else comes across, should that be complications with the mighty Amazon that would send anybody spiraling downwards, you just got to shrug and go, okay, let's work around this. And it is that to keep you going, you've got to get the head down and just barge through it. Doesn't matter what's standing in your way. The hell with them. That's basically what I'm saying to them. I'm here, I'm now, and I'm going for it. And don't try and stop me. I may be slow and lumbering like an elephant, but I'll get there. Don't you worry.
Have you ever seen an elephant run?
I have actually. Yeah.
It's formidable.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, John, I'll go with it. I appreciated, I laughed to myself earlier when you says we are all giants. And I thought of, I was nearly swearing there. You know, at 5'8", I'm a giant. Well, okay, I'll go with that. But as I said to you before, if it was all about size, the elephant would have been the king of the jungle.
Right.
It ain't all about size. It's about what's in here and what's in here.
Well, who says who the king is too? I mean, that's an interesting thing. If you could identify with or as, you know, like your animal. I know, you know, certain cultures, you know, they have like an animal spirit kind of a identity or something. That's interesting. I think perhaps. Well, I'm attracted to, in a physical life, I'm afraid of them, but like the serpent, right? So like the wise serpent. Of course, being an American, I think of, you know, the rattlesnake. Don't tread on me and all that, right? Like real dangerous. Just leave me alone, and you're not going to get hurt. Don't mess with me, right? Or you're going to find out. Right. So something like that, I appreciate. In fact, Ben Franklin said that should have been our national creature, not the eagle. The eagles are of poor moral character, he said. But anyway, but yeah, is it the lion in Bill? Is it the giraffe? I love giraffes. Maybe because I'm all, you know, 5'6" Italian guy. I'm like, look at this guy. Oh my goodness. You know. Trivia question: how many vertebrae are in a giraffe's neck? Anybody know?
Lots.
Anybody know? I'm looking in the chat. No? All right, you ready for the answer? 7, same as a human. 7. They're just really friggin' huge. So There you go. Now you know how many vertebrae are in a giraffe's neck. Lucky 7. All right, guys. Who else? Bill, thank you, sir. Who else has some ideas for us today on how we're going to put ourselves out there? We're going to be extroverted. We're going to impinge on the marketplace. We're going to make known our offers, our products, our services unapologetically. And yes, get rich unapologetically. Any other thoughts on this? Okay. Then here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. We're going to get back here. We're going to get back together here at 3 p.m. Eastern with Evelyn for our e-commerce work group. I'm going to be preparing some stuff for tonight. It's going to be fun. And so be there. I did put the link in the chat here in Zoom. If you're seeing this on YouTube, I'll put it in there as well, and on Facebook. So you can see if you want to share, if you haven't registered yet, go ahead and register. Even if you're a member here, register, have the whole experience, right? Doesn't cost you anything. Hey, Glenn, you got your hand up, brother. What? I see
weird.
Glenn.
It's
Hey.
weird, man. Like just slipped in on the last minute. As you can see, I'm in the truck, and you said something right there at the end, John, about how are we going to reach into the marketplace, impinge on people's space, ask.
Right.
You know me in some networking, man. It seems to me that sometimes, you let me know what you think. Seems to me that sometimes people can have a tendency to be a bit intimidated by the term marketing. As clearly and as efficiently as you've defined it for all of us, to some it still sounds like, oh, just this big enterprise marketing, like I have to be Grant Cardone or something. No. From my perspective, it seems to me a lot of marketing is about starting conversations with people and continuing that conversation to and through the point where I find out more about that person. I learn what they like, what they dislike, what they're looking for in their life, what they would rather not have in their life, and help them work together, help them find the solution, help them find or create what it is they want in their life. You know, as a saying, I know a group of people whose sort of saying is their mission in life is to enhance lives by helping people reach their goals. I mean, everybody's got them. And the only way for me to find out what your goals are, John, is to have a conversation with you, to talk with you. And for me, marketing comes down to conversations. And perhaps could be a way for someone on our call here to sort of demystify this whole concept of marketing. The power of it is between me and you, my friend, between you and whoever you're talking with. It's not between me and the masses. It's me and you, because that's where real communication takes place. You trained me a long time ago. When I'm doing a video, don't look at myself on the screen, look into the camera, so that I bridge the gap between you and me. It all keeps coming down to you and me, and me and you, and you and me. Your book has sold, I don't know how many tens of thousands of copies over the years. And when I read it, I felt like I was having a conversation with this guy, John. So that, for me, has always been the key to marketing, and perhaps it could be a helpful key for someone else. Man, I can't wait till tonight, brother. Back to you.
Thank you, Glenn. And thank you for your graciousness. Glenn has allowed us to preempt Networking Magic this week because we're going live on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then again on Monday. So for me, that's kind of, we'll see what happens, right? I know Wednesday is going to be great because Wednesdays are great. Friday, it's typically Miller time. People's brains turn to mush. Who knows? Well, it might just be me sitting there talking to myself. Probably not. We'll have a few people. And then Monday night, we'll wrap up a week from tonight. So it's going to be four sessions, and trying to keep these to an hour. I don't know, if we run over, we run over. But and I know Ivier is going to be there, even though it's going to be 1 o'clock in the morning. But she doesn't need sleep, so we'll just count on her being there. Great to see you all. We're going to go ahead and get together tonight. I'll see you guys on Get With Evelyn for e-commerce at 3 p.m. And Yeah. Bill, you're saying 2 a.m. It's going to be 1 a.m. UK time until you guys go from GMT to BST, which is next Sunday. So you're going to have 1 a.m. today. And I mean, assuming you want to attend live, of course, we're recording all this. But 1 a.m. today, Wednesday, Friday, and then 2 a.m. next Monday, because your clocks are changing. All right, guys, let's wrap up with